So we're here at the 1 Billion Followers Summit, which is the world's largest event dedicated to developing the creative economy, the content creator economy. And I'm delighted to say I'm joined with a man here who is very, very experienced in encouraging people how to use LinkedIn. Devin Reed, he's got the highest followers in LinkedIn in the whole world. And he's done me the great honor of joining us here at our broadcast point. Devin, thanks for your time.
Happy to be here. Happy to hang out with you.
It's great to have you with us. And LinkedIn, I don't know whether you know this, but LinkedIn is probably one of the most popular social media sites here in the UAE. I think we have more people using it here than potentially anywhere else in the world per capita, genuinely.
Wow.
That's definitely what the LinkedIn team say anyway. Why do you think it is proving so popular? Why is it such a fantastic platform?
Yeah. It's one of the only places where professionals can come together to network and build out their personal credibility and get their business on the map. So it's one of those few places where it both has incredible value for yourself and your career, and you can also grow your business. No other social media platform has that ability where you're able to reach people who are potentially executives who have spending power. So it's a great place to both get your business out there and your personal brand and grow it.
Speaking of executives, is it only for white-collar professionals or is it for everyone?
I think LinkedIn's for everybody. It's very inclusive, but of course you're going to get different values, right, depending on where you are. So I think that big misconception is only for white-collar, it's only for executives.
Yeah.
There's just a different strategy and a different approach. But the way I like to think of LinkedIn is it opens the door of opportunities before you even reach for the handle.
Do you think most people use it properly?
Properly is up to debate, right? But I think a lot of people misunderstand the power of LinkedIn. So of course you want to grow your following, but really it's about building trust at scale, right? If you think about in the business world, to be successful, you need people to know, like, and trust you. And LinkedIn, if you use it correctly, is a beautiful platform to do that.
What should we be posting? Because I use it fairly frequently, but I worry that I'm not necessarily getting it right. I tend to use it as a sort of bulletin board for what I've been up to.
Yeah.
Should I be doing more than that?
I think that's a great place to start, right? So people want to know more about you, your personality, but it's also a place to build your credibility. So something that I call edutainment content, which is a mix of being there to entertain people, but also educate. Because LinkedIn is primarily professionals. People are going there to learn. They want to get better at their jobs. So it's great to know you and how you how you behave, but also people want to learn from you. Right? People would love to know what your strategy is here, who you met. And so it's a place where you can really explore both sides of you, the personal and the professional side.
I'm interested that you mentioned the personal side of things there because there's a few kids' photographs slipping in. There are people using it a little bit more like Instagram. Do you think that is the right platform for that really personal content? Or do you think maybe professionals are getting it wrong with that?
I think there's definitely ability to overshare on any social platform, right? We can accidentally overshare. But I actually think people that hide their personality are missing out, right? So yes, we want to be professional, but I say it's also a place you can remove the professional polish a little bit and show the person, kind of behind the camera, so to speak. So how do you think? How do you make decisions? And a lot of the personal why, right? Like, why are you driven? A lot of people build it for their own families. They want to have financial freedom. And so people really buy into profiles that are not only educational, but also the person behind it as well.
Is it really possible to properly accelerate your career through using a social media platform like LinkedIn?
100%. And I can say from firsthand experience that you can definitely do so. When people know who you are and they trust you, they start to talk about you in rooms that you're not in. And so that's a great way to open up opportunities. Really, could be that you got an opportunity to work in a place that you wouldn't have had, or maybe your own boss sees your work and you've raised your profile up to a point where you might get a promotion or you might get a raise because you're perceived as a voice in your industry. So any place that you can build your credibility and authority only has upside for you in your career.
Common pitfalls that we should look out for?
I would say two things really, being overly promotional and being boring. Those are kind of the two things. So, people often over promote themselves, their company, and so people can kind of be deterred by that. But to avoid that and to avoid being boring, I say there's three things you need for great content: be insightful, be relevant, and be actionable. So give something people to think about, give them a way to put into practice, and make sure it's relevant to them right now. And it's almost impossible to fail.
I would like to add, don't be irritating to that.
That's good anywhere, on or off LinkedIn, yeah.
Well, the reason why I say that is because people often are hashtag blessed or hashtag privileged or honored. You know, there's that type of language that creeps into nearly, I'd say, 50% of posts.
Yeah.
How do you avoid using language that's going to annoy people?
Well, I can't say I do it all the time. It might be up to each person, but I think people fall into that because they want to be safe and they want to be, accepted. And so I think one of the most challenging things is to bring your true personality in and be okay with some people might not like you. But know that if you are yourself, you're going to get a lot of people who don't just like you, but they love you, right? They want to follow you, reach out, and work with you.
Do you think LinkedIn is the last word in professional networking? Do you think that they really have managed to dominate the market and, there isn't going to be a young usurper that comes up?
You can never say for sure, but I don't see that happening anytime soon. If you think about, imagine you're looking to hire somebody, right? And you say, hey, Devin, do you know Joe? What am I going to do? I'm going to send you Joe's maybe like LinkedIn profile, right? Or, if you're looking for a candidate rather, and I might say, hey, here's his profile. I'm not going to send you his Instagram. I'm not going to send you his TikTok. I'm going to send you his LinkedIn profile because you both get his job history and a lot about him. So I think that LinkedIn's got it covered.
If someone hasn't joined LinkedIn yet, or they're on it, but they very rarely use it, can you recommend the top 3 or 5 things that they should do tomorrow?
Yeah, so first thing you want to do is get your profile set up. I always tell a lot of the executives I work with, more people are going to see your LinkedIn profile than you shake hands with this year.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure it's not like your garage. Don't let it be messy, dirty, outdated. Make sure you have a good profile picture. Make sure people have your work history. And of course, this leads to number 2, which is make sure you're posting consistently. It's okay if it's once a week. You don't have to post every single day, but make sure that you're posting because people want to see, they don't want to see a ghost town. They want to know what you're really about. And then the third thing I would say is curate your network very cautiously. So reach out to people, connect with them, leave a note, and make sure that you're connecting with people in your industry that essentially you could work with or you can add value to.
So don't say yes to everyone.
I don't, and I don't recommend you do either.
Thank you very much indeed for your time,
Very
Devin
welcome.
Reed. Pleasure to have you with us.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much indeed.
Yeah.